Hey guys, we've got news on Global for June 23rd, and joining me once again to discuss the news is Windfoxie. So say hello, Foxy.
Hi, everybody.
So excited to have you again. You always help me out with these banners that no one is hyped about, but are you hyped about these, Foxy?
Oh, definitely. I'm jumping on my bed, tossing confetti all over. I am so hyped.
Indeed. So the banner's not worthless or anything, but it's just not one of those big hype banners. So we've got Yish, Cal, Ill-Matel, and the Neovision's Awakening of a Sid. So these units, I actually have two of them in JP. I've used Yish a few times. I've never used Ill-Matel a single time ever, and I don't have Cal. So how about you, Foxy? Do you use these guys in JP?
I just pulled two out of three of them not too long ago. I have Yish and a cow, and they are both sitting on the bench. But I do have Cow's STMR just because I was like, it's an attack. What was it? It's an attack mag STMR, so I just put a mock in it for no reason.
Makes sense. So I didn't even look at the specific details. So what do we have here? We've got the step up. Let's see. So 13 and a half per lap takes 10. So it's like the usual step up of the random stuff. 4% Neovision rate. That's 1% per featured and then 1% off banner. So I guess, slightly higher rate if you're going to go for them. So so the units. So Yish is basically, another flavor of Bad Breaker. It's like the ice version of Laguna. So Laguna is the 88% water breaker. This is the 88% ice breaker. But she does do a spear in peril. So, Laguna does gun, she does spear. And that's mostly it. Yeah.
Yep. The fact that she's super limit burst is just meh, especially for a breaker, same
Mm-hmm.
as Laguna, I guess.
Yeah, like this is just like super lazy copy paste Laguna. Just swap water for ice, swap gun for spear, and you've got a copy of Laguna. There it is. Her.
What's her spear imperil at the percentage?
I think it's 30%. We can look real quickly and confirm. Let's see. I think it's 30%, but let's take a look to confirm. 35%. Okay. So I was wrong. Actually, so I guess she has the highest spear and peril in the game because I think
Five
all the
percent
others
higher
are 30.
than that's 5% higher than Roberta, right?
Yeah, Roberta, Kane, Ricard, they're all 30%.
Ah,
So
I see.
that's something. And she does have a 145 ice in peril, so that could be okay. But here's the problem: her brakes are terrible. So 85 and 87, and she has a Magnus once per fight for 88 defense and spirit only. So it's the brakes are so bad. It's frustrating that Global just leaves these breakers so terrible and doesn't buff them to, relevant status like Frievia or Kaito or Laura Croft or Louise. Like we have so
Mm,
many better breakers on Global, and they leave these JP trash tier units at 88% once per fight, and then they're stuck at 87. So even for a trial, she's terrible as a breaker for a trial because you get your few turns of 88, and then you're stuck at 87 for the entirety of the fight. It's I don't.
I think Global and JP are going down two different paths, right? Because JP has been well, they haven't yet increased the percentage for the breaks, but they have been slowly increasing the percentage of the imperils.
Mm-hmm.
But on GL, they're giving very strong breaks all over uh our GL exclusive units.
Yep.
So I think they're going down two different paths. What JP is giving the imperils, and GL is giving the breaks instead.
Mm-hmm. Now she does have a good STMR. So for those of you that are looking for a two-handed spear for Roberta for Clash or something that is non-elemental. There's this option, for example, the Secure Return Spear is better, but it is locked to Lightning Element for Roberta. It's only 198 magic, so overall, Roberta will usually prefer something like Frievia's sword or Baran's sword or something like that for the higher base magic, but that would require an external weapon in peril. If you only want Roberta to be self-sufficient, this is a good two-handed magic weapon for Roberta that does match her own weapon in peril. Got some killers on it too, so yeah.
On max variants, does two-handed Roberta with this super thrust out damages her two true dual wield?
Yes, for magic, yeah, the variants, you will lose the 1000 static attack or static magic from the two STMRs, and you do lose a few slots for gearing. But depending on your gear, of course, some players, if you can't gear her very well for true double hand, it might end up better staying dual wield. But in a best in slot build, Roberta's double hand build should outperform her dual wield build in Clash of Wills. Yeah.
Oh, doesn't she gain like a bit of mod as well for her? Was it tech chain?
Yes. Yeah, her STMRs give a 10x modifier each, so if you're dual wielding them, that's a 20x modifier. But her modifier in Clash is something like, I think, 4,400. So losing 20 times 4,
20,
so losing 80 is like a drop in the bucket.
I see.
Yeah, the 50% average variance from a double hander is just so incredibly strong. It kind of surpasses everything for the most part.
Well, I'll be definitely pulling now because I'm a very enthusiastic cow player.
But keep in mind, like I said though, Roberta does have better options if you've got, for example, Kaito on the party. Then you can use your best weapon period. Though Kaito's Omni Imperil is only 25%, so it goes all over the place. Although if Kaito's on the party, you've got a 30% Katana Imperil, and then Kaito, you can use Purple Rain or Purple Lightning. Oh my God,
Ooh.
Purple Lightning, the two-handed magical.
Rain.
Yeah, I can't believe I said that. The two-handed magical katana for free. Well, it's not free. It's a 5-star STMR. But yeah, basically free. You will see it.
Nice.
But there you go. Another unit is Cal. You said you have him in JP. I don't have him in JP. I know what he does. He's like a fixed damage LB unit, kind of like Baran's base form. It's fixed ice damage. So just like Baran's base form, no killers. It's got a super high modifier because it is fixed, etc. Overall, his damage is not super impressive. That's pretty much all he does. I don't have him. I'm not super familiar with him. Are you, Foxy? Can you fill in the gaps for me?
Let's just say my Cal is still at level 1 and he's stuck in the Chocobo expedition. I haven't taken him out yet of the Chocobo expedition in JP.
Yeah, he's just not super great. He had like 1 or 2 fights in Dark Visions that were custom made for him. I kind of talked about that in the past, where there's like some gimmick fights in Dark Visions that have really, really high general or typed mitigation, and the way you bypass that, or the proper way to bypass that, is to use like either evokers or fixed damage dealers like Cal or Baran. But like I mentioned in that video, you can kind of get around it with re-raising the boss, so you don't need anything like that.
Let's just say he's to me he's the Yamcha of FFBE right now, of season 4.
So what is his STMR? I don't even know. Oh, okay.
Very hot, yeah.
Seems decent. Yeah, I didn't even realize it. So it's a two-handed magical. We were just talking about that. So magical katana could be used by like Roberta in Clash. This has higher magic, so 232. Is it elemental? It doesn't look like it.
No, it's not.
Okay, yeah, this is pretty nice. I didn't realize this existed. Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly why I just did an STMR mock on him and just tossed him in the Chocobo expansion. Never see him again.
Now, keep in mind, I keep mentioning Roberta. Roberta cannot equip katanas naturally. You would have to use something like Twin Sword User or, I guess, Jiraiya's TMR. You don't want to use that, though. You kind of want to use Twin Sword User, which is a limited time materia. So if you don't have that, katanas may not be the best option for your Roberta. But then again, probably Sword is Roberta's best option just because she can do that naturally.
It's true.
But it seems nice. The TMR is 100% magical killer. We already have like so many of these. We have Irving's STMR. We have Cindy's STMR. I guess this is a TMR, so it's cheaper, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it is for both magical and physical. So it's if you get him, just mock
true.
him and then toss him aside.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yum child, goddammit.
And then Ill-Matel, she's a little bit more interesting. I have her. I got her off banner in JP. I stuck her in the Shard dungeon. Got her to EX2 because I'm like, okay, I'll use her. I have never used her ever.
Sad.
And that's not because she's a bad unit. Like she does have some 250% single target killers. I think for plant, machine, and one more human maybe. I don't know. That's kind of all she does is some killers. She has 150% for some others. She has most of the killers at 150 or less. Like I said, she has those 3 at 250. They're single target though. They're not AoE. They're single target killers. So
Yeah, is this the start of where JP kind of makes those buffers where they only give very high killer buffs to one unit?
yes. Going forward, JP made quite a few units like this. Also for amplifiers, they started making single target buffers that have higher than usual buffs. For example, Ill-Matel, the new Ash, and then the new what's that girl's name? Ihana or whatever. In the future, they all have single target 250% killers, and then there's a bunch of single target amplifiers. Like Leftia does 100% fire amp single target. Nicole does 100% water amp single target, etc. Security does 100% lightning amp single target. And then, like I mentioned in a video the other day, Poppy does 60% single target amps as a cheaper version. But yeah, going forward, a lot of the buffers are single target. Kind of like in order to push you to use units like Balthier or Regina, etc.
They all require babysitting.
Yeah, it's like a whole, the whole team is built around like powering up 1 or 2 units, and you use like single target buffers, single target amplifies, etc. But she's good for that if you like that. I don't like that kind of setup, so that's why I don't use her in JP. I'm probably not going to pull for her on global. It's just too specialized. Not to mention,
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. Goom is gonna hear that and is gonna toss all the Ill-Matel at you.
I mean, she's not a bad unit. Getting her off banner wouldn't be the worst, but this is kind of an interesting STMR though. So you can only use it on healers, but a whole bunch of units have the healer tag, even if they're not really a healer.
True.
You can use this to buff a single target buff by 150% for some killers, for human, dragon, and insect. So
I think this SMR is really nice on Kresnik on Clash because he can buff after his trance comes off. He can at least do something after that comes off instead of just every time I see your video you just go what to do just do click done.
Pretty much, yeah, I agree. The reason I'm not as impressed with her, especially for global, is because global has such good options for buffing. We've got, like, in Clash, we've got Kaito for 200% to a bunch. We've got, like, 150% for everything between Roberta-Ling and Bulwark. We can steal 200% from Zahn. So 250, is high, but it's single target. They're only 2-turn duration. It's just awkward to use, and she doesn't really do anything else other than that. Like, she's a bad buffer. She's got 300 stat buffs and 250 LB buff, which is just outdated. We're used to 400s and 300 LB buffs at this point. So, not terrible, but I don't think she's chase worthy. That's me, at least.
Yeah, you're still probably gonna get her like in I don't know in the next 2 weeks.
Oh geez, I hope not. If I'm gonna get one off banner, I'd probably rather maybe this guy for that katana. I don't know, or just none of them. If you're gonna give me an off banner, give me Dark Rain.
Ooh, I want that too.
And then Sid gets Neovision's Awakening. So as you can probably expect, he's a wind jumper. His jump is, I'm pretty sure it's wind locked by memory.
Yes.
I did some like rough calculations based on his JP form, and if you like whale him out with like Ricard's gear and all, he can burst like a little bit harder than the old premiums like Sephiroth and Tifa. Still weaker than the meta. You know, and it's kind of like if you have Ricard for his gear, then just use Ricard instead because he's a better Wind Dragoon. But I guess Sid's a nice budget option. I don't know. He's fine. He's not meta, but not like terrible like some of the others coming up, like in the
I mean, if you have to wheel him out with those equipments, is he considered a budget option?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. That's kind of the thing. To make him like worth using, the gear required means you probably have better units anyway. So it's kind of one of those weird scenarios. Yeah. So mostly just for fans of the unit, I guess. And that's the.
He doesn't have any fans.
And then the vision cards, I'm going to go over them briefly. So Yish's vision card is locked to breaker only units, and most breaker units aren't dealing damage. And if you are dealing damage, you're not using a 70 base attack and magic, so this goes straight into the dumpster. And then Call and Ill-Matel share a card. Again, terrible stats. Terrible stats. It does give 100% double hand magic and attack power, but if you're using a DPS, you're not using an 80 base card. Because the problem is base stats and buffs scale with the card as well. So this 70, as opposed to, for example, a more budget 115 attack power like Ling or something, that's a difference of 45 times 5 for the base stats, times 4 again for the stat buff in battle. So that's like a missing of, I don't know, I'm bad at math, like 400 stats. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. So, yeah, you don't want to use these low stat cards ever. They're terrible.
Get them off on my stick now. Ooh.
Terrible. So the event is a raid. I mean, there's nothing to say about raids. Do it, farm the gear, OTK it on turn 1. There's an EX battle. I literally do not remember this at all. Do you remember it, Foxy?
Kill it in 2 turns, maybe?
Yeah, kill it turn 1, kill it turn 2. These EX battles are a joke these days. They used to be fun. They kind of just, I don't know, they're way too easy these days. So just, yeah, turn 1 it with like Carton or something, or go to turn 2 or 3 with like Titus or Squall, or whatever your favorite budget option is. Like, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Is it me, or does Tai versus Sprite looks really creepy? Like,
yeah, that's like his battle where he's fighting as the enemy, because during this whole event, like, you know, we're the bad guys. This event, because Yish, Cal, and Ill-Matel. I guess I shouldn't talk about the season 4 story because it might be spoilers. But I kind of already spoiled it a little bit. But yeah, that's the way it works, because we're playing the Empire's team at this moment, so to speak.
Or Lord Vader.
So the Chronicle battle is Proto Omega. This is the one where you just farm. Oh no, it's an EX fight. Okay, you see how forgettable this was. So it's an EX fight apparently. I forgot it. So no Lapis, 100 Lapis. No 3,000 Lapis this time. So just 100. People that were hoping to pull for the Ricard week 2, you're not getting your 3K this week. Yeah, I don't remember this at all from JP. It was easy. I'll have guides for it on Thursday. So yeah. This is a little bit cooler, though. We are getting the return of story events. They mentioned last month that story events were being skipped for a month. They're coming back this month. So this is going to be like a double update, kind of speak. They said we're going to get last month's and this month's all at once. So
nice.
Whole bunch of stories.
I needed a lapis.
Yes, there's going to be a decent chunk of lapis from this, because you're getting 2 months worth of lapis updates. How much lapis does the story update generally give, Foxy? Do you know? Just on average?
I think around 3,000.
3,000? So you should be getting approximately 6,000 from a double update, I guess. So that's nice. And then these are cool. These are some heroic quests. You get these from clearing the new story update. This is a chess piece for Tulian. It gives him 75 LB damage, some evasion. It also gives him a one-time, basically Tybus' STMR for him only, so it kind of frees up gear slots. It's decent for him, especially because he really needs LB damage, and this gives him 75% on the chest slot. Pretty good, pretty good. And then
if you have a Tulian.
If you have a Tulian, that is true. And this is for Tybus, but this is just a really good chess piece for everybody. This is really good. It's heavy armor, 60 base attack, and 50 LB damage, and that is universal. Everybody who uses this can be a 60 attack power, 50 LB damage, heavy armor. And then for Tybus only, it's an extra 500 attack power, flat. So that's pretty good. That's really good, especially for Tybus.
It's basically a physical version of, what was it? 7-star Shantoto's...
Yes, the Minister Code.
STMR. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely very good. I use this pretty often in JP, just on all kind of units. It's really good. And then
get this on JP.
What I am most excited about is the War Mech, or the Death Machine trial. Global went with the Death Machine. Yeah, there was like 2 translations. It was called War Mech in some versions and Death Machines in others. They're going with Death Machine. I'm going to try to call it Death Machine from now on. But this trial. So this is the first of the fourth of the 12 takedown trials, but the first where they get kind of a lot harder. You know, the first 3, Archeovavius, Stroper, and Dullahan, were all absolute jokes. You either kill it on turn 1, or you kill it on like turn 2 or 3 and take 0 damage. They were complete jokes. This one is less of a joke. This one is a lot harder. So have you cleared this in JP, Foxy?
I haven't even cleared the first 3 one.
Oh, Foxy's so lazy.
No lazy. Only dreams.
So this one, I like cheese cleared it on release in JP with like using auto battle, and I set up a party to go into a re-raise loop where I would never die, but it took me like 150 turns. I forget how many, maybe like 300 turns. I don't know. It was one of those really slow auto battle clears. And I didn't 15 turn clear this until I got Neovision's Titus like 6 months later. So it was really hard for me on JP. That being said, on Global, we have Esther. And I am 99% sure Esther is going to make this trial so much easier. I don't want to say trivial. It's not going to be trivial. It's still going to be challenging with Esther. But compared to how JP had it, Esther is going to make this comparatively a joke compared to the way JP did.
What are the characteristics of this boss that makes it so much difficult?
So he's super, super bulky. That is one thing. You can't even hurt the boss until you kill the 2 searchers. So you kind of have to use AoE damage dealers to do it in 15 turns. Now you can use single target and then just kill one, kill the other, then the boss. But you're probably not getting the 15 turn clear if you do it that way. So for the 15 turn clear, I'm not going to say you require, because I'm sure someone's going to figure out a way to do a single target and do it in 15 turns. But for the most part, you need AoE damage. So you need AoE damage. You need thunder or water damage. It can only be hurt by thunder or water. He has like 185 resist to the others. And again, people are going to be in the comments, oh, that's not technically true because you can imperil and you can hurt it. To do realistic damage, you got to use water or thunder. And also, but the big horrible thing is this fixed attack thing, and it's kind of hilarious the way they say this. They say damage reduction is effective. No, it's not. It's dealing it's dealing like a million fixed damage. So even if you got 90% damage reduction, you're still taking 100k damage. It's gonna kill you. It's gonna kill you. So you basically need re-raise. You got to re-raise and stack up some guts on your party. So guts.
Oh damn.
Re-raise, and because you're dying every turn, you need a way to continuously reapply your buffs, like amplify, imbue, etc. Because you're going to be dying every single turn.
Oh my god!
Later in the fight. In phase 1, he only does that like every other turn. So if you've got guts, you'll only die once per 4 turns for your party. Your tank's going to die pretty much every turn. But later in the fight, in phase 2. He does his fixed attack every turn, so if you don't have guts, you're going to be dying. But if you have guts is a really big deal here. So guts can keep you alive for longer. But your tank is going to be dying frequently. So someone with multi-guts like Chow or the new free unit Beast King Crocodine or what's the other one? Hyuncle, that have multi-stat guts that trigger multiple times in the same turn. They're really good tanks for this because the single target damage can trigger their guts multiple times in a turn. So Crocodine is actually a really good provoker for this fight if you want to use them. Or you can just use someone like I did on JP, the 4-star Riku, and then just re-raise it every turn. AoE re-raise.
Nice.
Yeah.
In terms of DPS, I think it sounds like a job for every cow unit ever. Kaito.
Yeah, Kaito is going to be Kaito's going to be great here as well because it's weak to water, and remember Kaito's LB gets boosted on machines. So this is his kind of fight, a machine fight. Also, he's AoE. So I actually have a few teams planned for this. I'm probably going to be going in with Esther for my big, quick, easy, overpowered clear. I'm going to try to get it done in as few turns as possible. I'm going to aim for 6 turns or less. I have no idea if that's even possible or not, but I'm going to try. And then I'll go back with a Kaito clear I'm hoping for. And then, try to do a different clear. And then I'm going to try to do some I can't call it budget, but some cheaper clears that are carried by a friend unit, like maybe Bran or Angela potentially. Angela's going to be tricky to make work. I think I can make Angela work with the right setup. I'm going to try. And then another unit that's actually pretty decent here is Kyros and Ward, the water AoE tag chainer. So if you happen to pull for them, you're one of the 4 guys that pulled for Kyros. He can be used here, and he's pretty decent.
Nice. Those 4 guys will be really happy to be mentioned in this video.
Yeah, so I'm really happy.
Just remember to make your Windfoxie clears as usual.
I know we have to have the Foxy clear. So I'm planning a Foxy clear that is I've got a plan to be carried by a Bran, the Dragon Knight Bran, because his base LB is AoE thunder damage. It imperils on the LB. It's fixed damage, so I don't have to worry about buffing killers every time he dies, etc. So I'm gonna try that, and I'm gonna try to use cheapy units and let it be carried by a single Bran friend. I don't know if that's even possible. So this is something I'm gonna be trying out. So Thursday will be very exciting for me as I try out lots and lots of team clears, and hopefully have a few of them that actually work and I can make into videos.
Nice.
And as far as the rewards,
my Foxy clear.
I'm gonna try. So the big one is Insect Eater Sense. It gives the 75 bug killer with some percent attack and magic. You also get the recipe for Machine Killer Plus, which is the usual stuff. And the next one is Gloom Wing. Hopefully, the next trial doesn't take another 6 months to come out because this one is very late. Very late.
Oh, it's
on
6 months? Holy.
Oh God, I hope not. And so one more thing I wanted to just mention and kind of call out here is on the JP server today, they announced that they're adding 2-handed dark vision weapons, and they have 400 to their stat. So the 2-handed katana, the 2-handed sword has 400 magic and it's 2-handed. I think the physical weapons only have 200 stats, so the 2-handed katana is only 200 attack power. But the 2-handed staff is also 400 magic. And this is...
That's a 2-handed katana that's 400 attack.
No, it's 200 attack, and then the magical weapons are 400 magic. Did I say that wrong?
No. The sword is 200 attack and 400 magic.
Mm-hmm.
The katana is 400 attack.
Oh,
the
is
staff,
it?
Yeah. The staff is 400 magic and 200 spirit.
Okay, I didn't even realize that. So in the future, JP is finally adding 2-handed weapons into dark visions, and they have 400 stats as we just found out. So I don't know if Global's going to get this because Global has never even given us the 1-handed weapons. So we are over a year late for the 1-handed dark vision weapons. We have them, but they're at low level. They're supposed to be 300 attack and magic. From a year ago, and Global is still refusing to give them to us. So the two-handed weapons may never even come to global, but I figured I'd point it out for players that maybe want to not just waste their dark matter on things like the flail or something.
Yeah. You see, that's the master plan from Gumi, the big break brain stat. Because they know that Alan's gonna do that eventually, so they make sure they don't put out the useless stuff, the one-handed stuff now. So players get to save the dark matter for the good stuff that's gonna come in 2 years.
Oh, jeez. Maybe.
2 years.
But that's pretty much it. We have 1 week to go until the live stream. Keep in mind, I think the live stream is on the 24th, isn't it? This coming Friday.
Is it now? Let's see the
for the anniversary.
announcement. Let's see. It's on the event thing. It's on the. Yep, it is on the 24th.
Okay. So that'll be the interesting news for the anniversary. There's a live stream, the official live stream on the the Brave XVS YouTube channel. So I will be watching that, hoping for some cool anniversary news. So
Free
thanks
pools?
I hope. So thanks for joining me, Foxy, yet again.
No problem. Always carrying you throughout this kind of madness. Yes.
You carry the videos. I'll carry the clears for you.
Nice. That's our deal.
All right. So see you guys next time.
See ya. Bye bye, all.